6, Chapter 2, Section 8, selecting an appropriate display. Let's take a look at that. First example of your note-taking guide. Football. Which display allows you to see whether or not the number of injuries has steadily declined since 1999. Alright, so you have a line plot that shows the number, meaning there is a 1 year where there was 10, 2 years where there's 12, 1 year where there was 14, but it doesn't specify which year it was. The line graph here shows actually 2 pieces of data at once. It shows in 1999 there were 18, 2000 there was 16, 2001 there was 12, and so on. So the question is, tells whether or not the number of injuries has steadily declined since 1999. The only one that actually shows that is that line graph, right? Is that line graph. Okay, so to fill this in, the blank shows a change in the number of injuries from year to year with some decline in the number of injuries. So which of these graphs? We should write in here that the line graph shows the change in the number of injuries. So here you can actually see from year to year how much it goes down. It actually looks like the graph is going down every year. Here, again, remember, I don't see any information no info on years. A line graph, a line plot only tells you how many times there were 12. Number 12 showed up. So, that is.
Alright, so I need you to make sure to add these extra notes to your graph, or to your note-taking guides. Alright, so like I said, we're going to interject this table into this note-taking guide video. It's very important for you to write down in your notes. It's going to tell you when you should use certain statistical displays. Okay, there are 4 main types that we'll be using. Type of display. The first one is going to be a bar graph. The next one is going to be a line graph. The next one will be a line plot. And the last one will be a stem and leaf plot. These are the 4 major types of displays that we're going to be using. So when do you use them? Well, more or less, the bar graph you will use to show the number of items in a category. So if you have some categories like pets or a subject or months or a certain category or a certain age or something, anything that can be fit into a category, you should use a bar graph. Anytime you have a line graph, it should be a change over a period of time. So if you're comparing one year to the other, this is definitely a line graph. A line plot you're going to use to show how many times a number occurs. In a stem and leaf plot, basically you're going to use just to condense a list of numerical data. Basically a table, but it's a little bit easier. So like I said, please find a spot for this on your notes. I forgot to do it originally in the notes for the note-taking guides, but this is going to be something very important for you to have down in your notes. All right, thanks. Let's get back to the original.
Check this out. Which display allows you to see whether the number of parent volunteers has increased since 2000? Well, I get right here, there's nothing about years. So a stem and leaf plot, they does not show the years. It only shows the numbers, that there was 18 volunteers, 23, 25 volunteers. It doesn't show which year that happened. Here it shows years and compares it to the number of volunteers. So it actually gives two pieces of data. So which display shows the number of parents has increased? You should say again that the line graph shows an increase. That's an example 2. Select an appropriate type of display to compare the number of students over the years. So we just got done doing 2 examples dealing with the fact that line graphs show years with another piece of data. Whereas other plots, like a line plot or a stem and leaf plot, don't actually show the number of years that it happens. So let's select an appropriate type of display to compare the number of students over the years. So since the table shows change over a period of time, a line graph would be the best. Now if we were to actually graph this, it doesn't say to, but if we were to actually graph this, if you have some space on your paper, you should go ahead and try this. You're going to see that here is 05, 06, 07, 08, and 09. And if we wanted to make the scale, look, 15 to 28, and there's some numbers in between, so let's just go ahead and start at 15, right there, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And let's plot some points on there. So, in the year 2005, there were 15. In the year 2006, there were 22. In the year 2007, there were 20. 2008 was 23. 2009 was 28. So overall, when you connect the dots to this line graph, you should see that there is an increase. Alright, so make an appropriate display of the data. So draw and label a horizontal, and vertical axis, which I just did over here, and they have right here. Add a title. Add a title and then draw a point to represent the number of students for each year. And then connect your points, which I just did here, and which you can see here. So you can see the graphs are very similar. You can see they increase every year. They increase overall. That's pretty much pretty straightforward. Alright, so here the table shows the number of students who choose each animal as their favorite pet. Select to make an appropriate type of display to compare the number of responses for each animal. So now we're not dealing with years. We're not dealing with, it shouldn't be a stem and leaf plot, it shouldn't be a line plot. The best choice for this, I'm going to say, is a bar graph. Because it has categories. So the categories we list at the bottom. Let's see, the categories we put at the bottom. So dog, cat, fish, bird, and other. And you can see the smallest number is 8, the biggest number is 38, so we need to probably start at 0 and go up by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And 35. So down here are the type of pets. And over here are the number of students. And the title should be favorite pets. Alright. So let's take a look. Let's get some color in this graph. Alright, for dogs, the number is 38. So you go all the way up to where 38 is. And come all the way back down. Cats are quite popular as well. Goes up to 36. Oh, having trouble drawing my bars. Fish are 12. So there's 10, so 12 is about halfway. So there's fish. Birds are 8. And other type of animals goes up to 20. So we, through the table, we selected an appropriate and made an appropriate type of display to compare the numbers. Alright, that is all for this section. Make sure you try out check your understandings. CYUs 1 through 4, and then we'll work on these problems in class. Good luck.